This is WMK Survival. We're going to do a review of the Duluth Pathfinder haversack and what I carry in it. So for me, this is my scouting bag. If I'm going out for a day, this is what I'm going to carry out. I believe that in here, what I have in here, I could survive at least a week with, if not longer, assuming I made a primitive or a debris hut. So for my main knife that I usually keep in this, I have the SE4. I have stripped this. This is a 1095 high carbon steel blade with a 4.5 inch cutting surface and about a 5 inch total blade length, about 9 inches overall. We'll do a separate review of this knife later on. It's got micarta handles, really nice knife, probably my favorite knife, with a Kydex sheath. I've just got a Ranger band on over that. The next cutting tool that I have is the Baco Laplander. Baco Laplander is, bar none, the best folding saw you can buy for the money. Silkies are, in my opinion, a piece of crap. These are, you can buy replacement blades. Never seen one break. Keeps a edge on these teeth for a super long time. It's a great saw. Locks. Got a nice leather lanyard. Now, it's got on the front here a leather strap and a high quality, tough brass buckle. Inside here we have two compartments here, and then this front part, I'll go from the front forward. Right here I've got a small little light. If in case it's in night, I can just press this and see what's in the pack. Right here I've just got a Sharpie. Hopefully that doesn't need explained. Right here I've got my fire kit. This is my main fire kit. If I have to start a fire, this is most likely what I'm going to use in here. So this is just an Altoids tin. It obviously doesn't look like a regular one because I've put this in the fire to char cloth and punkwood. I got a piece of jute twine for making a small tinder bundle, putting this in the center. A bunch of cotton balls. I've got a piece of flint, a piece of chert, an actual piece of a bird's nest, a Bic lighter, a steel striker for whenever I'm going to make a flint and steel fire. I'll put the piece of charred material on top there, and this is probably my preferred method of fire making. I've been using this method for as long as I could remember, and that would be my fire kit. I also always keep a ferrocerium rod on my knife that I can use for sparking. There's that. Now, in the second compartment here is what I think is supposed to be a map compartment, but in a lot of reviews, people don't put a whole lot of stuff in this storage area because it does take up some storage area in the main compartment, but I think it's worth it so that you can fit a little bit extra gear. Right here, I have my shooting and shot bag. It's just basically a leather circular pouch that I've punched holes in so I can fit stuff. I have some 177 pellet rifle ammo for in case I want to take my pellet rifle out. I've got a bunch of steel shot and some nice pebbles for my slingshot. Just wrap around there like that. Call it good. Next, I have another tin which has punk wood, another two pieces of chert, and some punk wood. I need to restock that, but another great way to start a fire. This is in a stainless steel tin. I haven't charred anything in this tin, but I most definitely could. Next, I move on to some cordage. This is some jute twine. I can use this as cordage, or I can, since this is double twisted, I can take this apart and fluff it up to use as a bird's nest to combust with a ferro rod, or once I get an ember with the charred material, I can blow it into flame using this. I also have a small sharpening stone. I got buying a knife a while ago. It's a diamond, not a ceramic, so this will take off a lot of material. I really only use this if I got a large nick in my edge. Next, I've got some more cotton material, small piece of a bandana, so that if I need to make more char cloth, I can stick this in the Altoids tin and char it. This is about what I'm about to show you, the only food that I carry. I have a small, it's not a Cliff Bar, I don't know what it is, La Bar, however you pronounce it, and a Slim Jim. And then I've got some more cotton material. Cotton material is a multi-purpose, because I don't carry a first aid kit, because in my mind I can use duct tape and cotton as a band-aid, or just duct tape or electrical tape. I've got a small folding knife. I use this for skinning and game prep. Next, I have about 25 feet of duct tape, rolled around piece of paracord, so in a knot, so I can hold this and pull it out, rip it. It's a really nice way to store it. Now, in the main compartment, this is what I use the most often. Most of the time with this stuff, really the only thing that gets taken out are these two things, and occasionally this and some duct tape. But this is the stuff that regularly gets taken in and out. I've got my favorite container, an Nalgene bottle. Now, no, you cannot boil water in it, like just stick it in the flame. But if it was a do or die situation, you could extend it over the flames, but I would never recommend that, because you are in danger of cracking or melting your bottle. That's why I always carry a stainless steel nestling cup. It's about 16 ounces. It sits right down in there, and it has a snug fit so that it just sits right in there. It's got two butterfly style handles that are free floating. They don't really like to form to the cup, but you can bend them a bunch to get them to go, but I don't really care. As you can tell, this has been used quite a bit. For a while, this was my only stainless steel container, but lately I bought a Clean Canteen 23 ounce. I don't have it in here. That is in my medium Alice pack. So that's containers. Now, in case I'm running on the fly and I don't have time to boil water, I've got this water filtration system, so I can just put this in the crick, take the cap off, and then turn that so water is allowed in, and it will filter all right. But I would suggest rather than to using this, build up an immunity to the creek water that you're in. It's not that hard to do. You start off by using the filtration system, and then you build a natural filter, and then you just keep drinking that water, and your body will build up an immune system to that. Now granted, if there's something like cryptosporidium, or I'm not going to say giardia, because your body can eventually build up an immunity to that, but if you're living in the Midwest where there's a lot of agriculture, you might get some pesticides, and that could really hurt you. So you might have to think about that whenever you are deciding, do I only need to carry a water filter, or do I need to carry a stainless steel container? It's something that you got to think about. And a lot of people might say, well, how come you don't keep your canteen, your Nalgene, filled with water? Because in the eastern woodlands, you are tripping over cricks. I could walk 20 feet from one creek and there will be another one, so I'm not concerned about carrying water. About the only liquid I carry out in the woods is sweet tea. Now, the other piece of cordage, and this is about my favorite cordage, is bank line. This is number 12 bank line. Dave Canterbury recommends number 36. This is $1 at Walmart, and it fits in there really nice, only about that big. This is about, it's a couple hundred feet for $1, and paracord is $7, and you usually only get about 100 foot. You tell me which one's the better deal. This one has about, I don't remember how much the test is. I know number 36 is about 90 pounds, so this is number 12. It can hold a good amount. So that's my favorite type. Next, I have a fish mouth spreader. So this is mainly for, not this, but whenever I'm at base camp and I've got my stainless steel container in the fire, where I guess I could use it with this, but I've got the butterfly handle, so I don't really need to. But I open this up, and I can stick it down inside of the canteen, hold it up, and it will lock into place, and I can just pick it up out of the fire without having to use gloves or getting burnt. So that's a great, I saw this off of Dave Canterbury's channel, Wilderness Outfitters. Now, one of the last things in here is the Pathfinder Slingshot by Marksman. I've got the black bands. These are 42-pound test bands, and I've got the arrow attachment on here so I can shoot arrows out of this. And usually you have a thing right there. Well, if I'm shooting man-made arrows, what I'll do is I'll pull the knockout and I'll put a golf tee in there so I can get real good purchase. But if I'm out in the woods, I can whittle it to have that, and I think it works better than it knocking onto a piece of paracord. But that's just me. And then it's just got that little screw right there where I can unscrew it. Really great piece of gear. Now, there's one last thing in here. Well, two. Three. I've got a map of our local state park. It's Fox Ridge. I've got some places that I like to go mapped out on it. And I've got two 55-gallon drum liners. One is to build a tarp, and one is to fill with leaves to act as a sleeping bag, considering it's winter and it's going to be cold. So that's my way of having, if in the case that where I fell through the water, I rolled an ankle, something happened, I needed to stay out in the woods for that night, I could get by with everything in here. So that's pretty much it, and thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate the views. Like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends. Thanks.